much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake. Okay, on to the rest of the programming here. This morning, President Biden was briefed by his Homeland Security Advisor, Liz Sherwood-Randall, on the latest impacts of Hurricane Helene, and this afternoon he will...
That was the National Security Advisor of the United States of America making the official statement. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris closely monitoring the situation here, strongly backing the Israelis. A confirmation also now coming in that there's been one casualty. Confirmation coming in with regards to a Palestinian who may have been killed in the attacks that have taken place. But also the first response coming in from Iran right now.
That's
my
right,
colleague Deepak is going to take you through the statement that's just been put out by Iran's supreme leader.
Viewers, this is the first response from Iran's supreme leader on his X account. He has said in a message that God's help and the victory is near. That's not all. In fact, the Khamenei media has also said that the resistance forces will determine the fate of this region, which means that the situation is far from over. It's only going to escalate. But this is the first response that we have gotten from the Iran's supreme leader, that God's help and the victory is ours. And Khamenei media has also said that the fate of this region will be decided by his forces. What does this mean, Shravan?
Well, in fact, Deepak, it's quite clear that there is a local audience that the Supreme Leader is also addressing at this point in time, and I've been pointing this out, that there has been a clear divide even in Iran at this stage. You've heard what Benjamin Netanyahu, while he was addressing to the people of Iran, was largely targeting at those who have gone against the leadership there. So there is a segment, there is a faction within Iran at this point in time which appears to be against the leadership there, against the regime. Major, that perhaps is something that Israel is aware of. The fact that they've been able to carry out the kind of attacks they have in Lebanon would not have been possible had it not been for the kind of infiltration that they've done within the IRGC, as well as, for that matter, Hezbollah.
See, after taking out the whole Hezbollah leadership, basically there is no one to head the operations for Hezbollah in Lebanon. So probably this was the last, you could say, or the only desperate SOS call from Hezbollah to the Iranians, that they need some buffer time. So they were probably, or as per military tactics, requested or pressurized Iran to carry out this missile attack so as to deviate or slow down the momentum of operation in southern Lebanon by the Israel forces. Now, the main decisions will be made early morning or during dawn, whether what is the assessment. Now, as we see these missile strikes, what I contemplate is they could be the communication systems, they could be the oil rigs, which majority of the news channels are already reporting that they are the oil reserve depots which have been targeted. So, and the power stations. So these are the three criticalities, communication and power and oil. So these are the three things which usually keep the communication and the systems, streamlined during war. So this is what they have targeted. If they wanted to target the civilian areas, then you see the fall of these missiles are, in a very closed group formation. They are not spreading out entirely. So these missiles definitely had specified designated targets of military importance, like airfields or their oil depots. So I think we'll get a better picture early morning now from the IDF.
Well, thank you very much, Major Samarthur, for joining us on this broadcast. Tense moments right now as the escalation that we are witnessing right now in West Asia. Will there be a response really coming in from Israel? From all the statements that have been made so far, there is a clear indication that Israel perhaps is not going to take this lying low. And with the United States of America coming out in full support of its ally, it appears that this perhaps would see another stage, another level, perhaps in the days to come.
उसके बिना इस समस्या
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities